Daming, it is another beautiful Friday, and we know that Fridays belong to football at Mazuriya Studios. Welcome to another segment of the Center Circle. Lina Mazunda, and today we have a jam-packed show for you guys. My guest today is no stranger to the screens. She has been doing this thing for quite some while. If you are a Skimsam fan, you definitely know who Amanda Manku is because she plays Dr. Tubakale on Skimsam. So she's also a presenter on the multi-choice D-Ski, the MDC side. Yes, today we're going to be getting to know Amanda very well. So do tune in, right, and interact. Just a quick update. Our boys are on the roll. Our boys are back on the field, y'all. Boo, 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 boo. Our boys are back. You know what? It's gonna be an interesting one because our boys are playing tomorrow. It's Mamelodi Sundowns versus Bidvest. I mean, it's quite an interesting thing because now certain players from Bidvest will not be joining the team tomorrow. Key players like Pelembe is still in Mozambique. Gift Mutuba is injured, and certain players are tested positive for the coronavirus. So it's gonna be quite an interesting one to see, you know. But the good thing is that Bidvest has promoted 8 players from the MDC side. I mean, if you know, Bidvest MDC is number 1 on the log, yo. These boys are bringing it all the way through. So Amanda is going to be talking to us about that also. So it's going to be an interesting one. Furthermore, the boys are going to start playing for the league now. So it's quite interesting that Sundowns is rumored to sign some of the players from Bidvest. So it's like Mutupa, Gaz, Domingo. So I'm just wondering how this transaction is going to be tomorrow. The boys are back in camp, so it's going to be fun. While we are waiting for Amanda to log on, I see Mustoviola up, and on the roll. Hi, Taviso. Hi, Edward. Edward has started, guys. Edward has started. Hi, Chiro. Hi, TK Zoai. Hi, Temobole Duaba. I see you guys. I see you. Hi, Max Nkwana. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Amanda is online, guys. So remember to stick with us and interact. All right. Cool. I'll see you in a few. Waiting for Amanda. Let's get this thing rolling. Okay, still waiting for Amanda to accept, and then we are good to go. Hi, Amanda.
Okay. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for taking this time to join me on my show.
I mean, thank you for asking me to be on the show. Just a note. My son is busy making a noise. They're playing games, so you might just hear a bit of Pikachu there. But yeah, just so you know.
Not a problem. He can join in anytime. Matt, so we've been on this lockdown for quite some while. What are the things that you've been doing in this lockdown? What are the top 5 things?
I think now towards probably in the first 2 months of the lockdown, not really much was done personally. I was really indoors, hectically self-isolating. After 2 months, I had to go back on set. So since then, I've been back on set. Obviously, more cautious, but yeah, I've been back on set till now. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So let's talk about your upbringing.
The sports part is what's been affected. I must admit, like I miss that vibe of going to the stadium. Yeah.
Man, I miss that. I miss the vibe at the stadium. I just want to go to the stadium already. So let's talk about your upbringing. Can you hear me? I think you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Okay. Let's talk about your upbringing. I know for sure that you are from Limpopo, right? From ZB. Yes. Let's talk about that. How was your upbringing?
How different was it from anyone else? I mean, I don't know how different it was from everyone else's. But my upbringing was really great. I was born in Makgopong, Zibidela. I moved to Johannesburg when I was, or Gauteng rather, when I was 6 or 7. But it was always that to us. School holidays were always back home because the rest of my family is back home. So my grandparents, uncles, and everyone is there. So I'm always going home. But yeah, I had a very fun upbringing. I was a very active child. I used to play. I always say I used to kick a ball because my soccer abilities are, but I was part of the team. In primary school, I played netball all the way to high school. So I was a very active child. I was part of the debate team. I was prefect. And yeah, so I think I had a very fun upbringing.
So which high school did you go to?
I went to a high school here in Johannesburg, School Zimberger in Roodepoort.
And then you moved, after high school, you went to study acting, am I right?
I went to a film and television school. I did not study acting, but it was a film school, so it's based on everything that is film and television. But I majored in film editing, so I'm an editor by profession, and I do also work as an editor. Yeah.
So, what made you decide to just go into television? How did that decision come about?
Well, when I was in primary school, that's when I decided that I wanted to actually be an actress. We had youngsters who came in to give motivational talks, and they mentioned acting and drama, and they gave drama lessons. And after that, I was like, actually, you know what? I like this. And from there, my parents tried to just, I gave me an agent here and there to help me get into the industry. But as I got older, because obviously when you're in primary school, you don't really know what you want to do. Now, as I got older, in high school, I was like, so I want to be in film. I want to be in television. Even though I was not very well informed with the different career choices that are in media. But at some point, I remember I had this conversation with my parents. It's not the easiest thing to tell your parents that I don't want to be an engineer or I want to be in TV. So we had this conversation and they were like, nope, you're going to do accounting. But yeah, it didn't happen. It was not for me, and I went and studied film editing.
All right. So when did your acting career start? How did you start?
So I started off as a television presenter before I moved over to acting. I started in acting on Skim Sam. Skim Sam was my first acting gig. That was in 2013. So that was my last year of varsity.
Yeah. So when you started acting, how was it for you? Like getting all of this fame? How were you able to get it together?
Yeah, I think I was fortunate enough, right, that I started being on screen, if I can put it that way, at a very young age. So I was 16 when I started being on screen, not as an actress, as a TV presenter, and I was exposed to the lifestyle. So even when the fame, if I can put it as that, came with Skim Sam, because it came a bit earlier with Yo TV and stuff, but with Skim Sam it was on a totally different level. I wasn't really fazed by it, because for me, I was really in it for the fame. The fame has its perks, but I didn't really want to focus so much on it. The one thing that I've always wanted to say is I don't want to lose myself in all of this. So, baby Mara, well, okay, do you want to join my life? Yeah. Yeah, my son wants to join my life. So anyway, but yeah, I didn't want them to scream. I would, but yeah. Anyway,
so being Huh?
Sorry, I'm not sure if it's my network or if it's yours, because I'm seeing people are also commenting that can't see me, my network's a bit bad. On my side, everything looks good.
But there are parts and places where we can hear you, but I'm not sure what can be done with that.
Okay, I don't know. Everything's good on my side, so I can't. It looks like it's good on my side. You guys will let me know, maybe I'll see what I can do.
All right. In the meantime, let's talk about how you got your part. You know, I hear a lot of people say, you know what, you go for auditions. How was that journey for you?
I was fortunate enough that I haven't really gone to a lot of auditions, right?
Yeah.
So the auditions that I went to, I was fortunate enough and blessed enough that I got them. So, for example, the multi-choice disc challenge, I went to those auditions and Skim Sam, which is what I'm currently doing. So both those I do not have an agent. So for Skim Sam, I saw about the auditions on social media, so it was on Facebook.
Yeah.
With the multi-choice disc challenge, it was on their website. So obviously, as someone who follows football, I used to always just be on the SuperSport website a lot, just for the football. And they then mentioned that they were looking for a presenter.
Yeah.
And I
So how do you get into your part? How do you then start researching? I mean, you're a doctor on Skin Stamp. How do you then prepare for such a character?
it depends on the storyline, right? So, I mean, one of the biggest storylines Elizabeth has had was when she was shot.
Yeah.
And not being in a love triangle.
Yeah.
So during that time, how I prepared for it, I had to obviously, number one, research about being on a wheelchair because I don't sit on a chair.
Yeah.
So it was very important for me to know how it is for people who sit on chairs. And fortunately, I do know people who sit on wheelchairs. So it was easier for me to kind of engage with them and kind of know how that emotional trauma, especially others who were not born that way. So it's always, I think it's always just kind of doing your research and getting to know the character, but more and growing with the character. It does get easier with the years because now you kind of, like now I kind of know Elizabeth. I've been Elizabeth since 2013, so I've kind of know her a bit more. But I think with every storyline, it's different. Depends on the emotion. It depends what's happening. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you crying? You know, and a lot of people think that you can cry and you're a good actor or actress, and crying doesn't always come. I think for me, the minute I put on my hair, right? Because when you get to set, or before you get to set, when you get to studio, you go into the wardrobe department to put on the wardrobe. Get in, then you put on the hair, you put on the makeup. It's a totally different transformation. If you look at me, I mean, I have her face, but myself and Elizabeth are two different people. So once I have all that, all her hair, her makeup, her wardrobe, I kind of transform into her. So, you know, the emotions are totally different from there on.
Right. So being a woman comes with a lot of perks. You know, we are naturally gifted with multitasking. But I want to know from you, because you're a mother, you're a presenter, you're an actress, how do you keep yourself together? How do you maintain that?
I think number one, I've always said to people, you know, the biggest thing for me, I had to at one point be honest with myself, especially when I became a mother. It was one of the most challenging things that I had to do because as a mother, you want to give your child the best, you know?
Yes.
And at one point, I realized that I cannot do it on my own. Being a strong woman means you sometimes when you do need help, acknowledge that you need help.
Right.
Sometimes we fool ourselves in believing that because I'm a strong woman, I can do everything on my own. I don't think so. I personally don't think I would have been a mother to my son the way that I am if it was not for the help that I got, you know, from external factors, family, and everyone involved. And the same with also with the jobs that we do. Sometimes when it's not bearable, be able to say it's not bearable, you know, without also, of course, always pushing yourself to the limit, without like just not not wanting to open up your channels. Don't close yourself in and say, Ish, I've got a lot on my plate. But also at the same time, don't just be like, Ish, no, I can do it all and not accept help from people. So for me, I would say, now I'm one person, I always want help in a lot of things. I can't do it all on my own, never.
Right. So I read an article where you spoke about there was a certain time where you were not getting gigs and you started losing weight. Now that you're talking about getting help, how important is it for a person to psychologically keep themselves sane in this kind of
Yeah.
situation?
It's very important. It's very, especially now. I mean, I don't know, maybe I remember when I had the conversation with my mom and I was just saying that I feel like times have changed and things are just harder for us right now. And she was saying,
Yeah.
and she said, no, it was the same before. It's just that usually you are going through it, you know?
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
me, I remember when I made that post, I didn't expect so many people to kind of relate the way they did. A lot of people were actually agreeing that they've also been through a similar situation. So it was very important to keep a clear mind. When I went through the struggles that I went through, once I had my child, I had to have a clear mind. And once I
Yes.
had the clear mind, a lot of things were just very, things were happening, you know, because
Yeah.
now I was at a better place mentally, emotionally. So things were easier for me. Yeah.
So we are in an industry where it's male dominated, and we get and we get people saying, "No, this is a sport for men. This is not a sport for women." How do you handle such uh, comments?
So what? It's a sport for
Right.
women. So what? I'm here and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not easy. I'm not gonna lie and say it's easy because you're always questioned. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a woman, people assume I don't know what an offside is.
Yeah,
Because I'm a woman, I'm in the football world, so I'm going to be sleeping with all these soccer players. Because I'm a
right.
woman, I don't have the not. You understand? So there's a lot of things that just come with being a woman. But I think if you know why you're doing this, if you know that you love what you do, then just continue
Yeah,
doing it. I mean, I'm one person that I've had so many challenges, especially on the sporting front. But till today, and I always say, keep a head up high, man. They'll always question, but
yeah,
one day, I don't think we've got the likes of Carol, who is being called the first lady
yeah,
for, you know, she had to start somewhere. You know,
yeah,
when she started, obviously she faced the first those challenges, but today Carol is the first lady of sports in South Africa. You
yeah,
know, and she's you can't touch Carol. There is no
yeah.
way. We look up to her. Yeah.
So we are celebrating Women's Month, and your birthday is coming up. What? Happy birthday to you in advance.
Thank you, thank you.
So, what are your plans for Women's Day?
I've never had plans for Women's Day because my
Uh-huh.
birthday is Women's
You
Day.
have
So
plans
for
for
me, it's
your
always
birthday.
been more. Yes, it's
Hmm.
always been more of my birthday than Women's Day.
Yeah.
I think because I'm a woman, so me
Hmm.
celebrating my birthday, I'm celebrating being a woman.
Yeah.
But this weekend, I don't know what my plans are. I know that plans have been made, not by
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
I know that there are plans in place.
Yeah.
Um, all I was told is to get ready, get myself ready, and look
Mhm.
hot. And yeah,
Ah,
my
God.
birthday. Yeah, listen, yeah,
Yeah.
look hot and enjoy. So I'm just waiting to see what they have planned for my birthday. I didn't plan anything,
Right.
especially
So,
with the
in your opinion, how important is it for women to empower each other?
sure. I think we don't stress this enough, you know, and I think
Yeah.
there's so many women who teach this but don't really practice it.
Yeah.
It's very important because I think as a woman, number one, already it's just you are underprivileged by just being a woman. You
Yeah.
know, whatever in whichever industry, not just in sports, but I think in whichever industry, as a woman, you are underprivileged, and it's very important that once you're at a certain level, and you have the ability to, you hold the next person's hand, you know,
Yeah.
and and give off information. Sometimes it's also not just empowering another woman doesn't mean now I have a me time and I'm going to be like, hey, here's R1 million. But it's just being
Yeah.
able to share information, being able to be there for each
True.
other. I mean, I have a lot of women who will inbox me or send me DMs, and they'll be asking me, how do they get into acting? And I'll give the information. But I must also emphasize, because I have quite a few conversations where they don't end nicely, is that as a woman, it does not mean that if you want someone to empower you, does not mean that things will come on a silver platter. You know,
right.
I've had people who come to me with asking information, and I say to them, okay, you need to get, how do they become an actress? You need to be a part of, get an agency, and I'll tell them where to go to get the agency, and the people won't do that. They'll be like, okay, you must give me the numbers of, okay, my phone is sending things. Yeah, let's do this. But am I still fine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me just do that. But yeah, I think I've gotten a lot of ladies who have asked me questions, and then they don't want to go the extra mile. I've had quite a lot, and I must say I'm impressed. So ladies who want me to mentor them, who want to come on set with me and look at how, and those are always the ones where I'm like, yes, come, let's do this. If I'm able to, I will. So I think it's very important as women. I know for a fact, when I got onto the multi-choice disc challenge, myself and Lindiwe Dube, we were two female presenters, and already just bring women was a challenge. We had a director who was female, and she kept talking so much about empowerment and empowering each other as women, and that's when I realized the importance of it, you know, because I would not be where I am today, as much as I haven't gone as far as I want to go. But I wouldn't be where I am today if it was not for someone else holding my hand.
Right. So what would you say are your achievements so far in your career?
In my career?
Yeah.
I think number one, just being able to be on SuperSport.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I got onto SuperSport, and I got a badge, right? An SuperSport badge that you wear. That's when I was like, wow, because I knew I wanted to be in sports, but I thought it would happen like in my mid-30s. I thought, I'm too young now. It's not going to happen now. It would happen a bit later on in life. And it happened at that time. Being on Skin Sam has changed my life. I don't know what my life would be without Skin Sam. It has changed my life I think Skin Time has changed my life dramatically. SuperSport has made me appreciate what I do more, and has kind of opened my eyes and made me a hard worker. So both have worked two different roles in my life.
So you were talking about mentorships and pushing people, pushing women in particular. Are you open to mentoring a lot of people, or a lot of girls rather?
When I do mentorships, I normally do like shorts, so I would never go for a whole year. So and what I always say to people is I've had quite a few ladies, and they would come to me and tell me what they want instead of me. I never have a plan of action of this is what you will get. They will come to me and tell me what they want, and we take it from there. If what you're saying makes sense to me, then we take it from there, definitely, without a problem, if it's possible. Sometimes people come to me and want me to put I do not hire people on Skin Sam. I don't hire people on SuperSport. I don't hire anybody anyway. I'm not there yet, not yet. So, but if it's information you want, then definitely, without a doubt.
So we have a question here from Marera General. He says, so if you were to choose between being a presenter and an actress, which one would you prefer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not even gonna lie and try, and I do not know. One day, on some days I choose acting, on some days I choose being a sportscaster. It depends on. One thing I've always said: I'm more comfortable acting than I am being a sportscaster. I think one reason is because I've done acting more than I've done sports.
Presenting.
So I'd like to still grow a bit more in the sporting fraternity, you know. But if I had to choose between the two, it's like when you have two kids, who do you love more? I really don't know.
So we spoke about being in character, you know, when you're acting. However, with sports, you are yourself.
Yeah.
How then do you prepare for such?
For what? For being yourself, or how do you prepare for?
How do you prepare going live, being yourself?
I don't prepare being myself. I kind of prepare. What I prepare is more information than not,
right.
You know. And especially when you do the multi-choice challenge, the biggest challenge is that some of the players have never been seen before. Some of the players are known from the multi-choice challenge, so it's our duty then to research how old the player is, where have they played, which school do they go to, what are their plans, do they actually want to continue and play locally, or do they want to go, you know, all that information. It's research that you need to do before an actual game, because also if a player who plays for Sisali is injured, unlike the first team players, it doesn't always make the headline. So on the day of the game, it's up to us to know that information.
Right. So what are your plans going forward with your career?
With my career.
Yes.
One, definitely grow more in the sporting fraternity. And this year, thank you, Corona, was one of the years where I was like, I want to up my sporting abilities. I want to do more games. It's like, you know, I always say as a sportscaster, it's like being a player. If there are any players here, they'll attest to this. Where sometimes you're on the bench and you want to be on the starting line, you know, or sometimes you don't even make it to the bench. You want to, or maybe even if you're not on the starting lineup, but you want to come on as a sub, or you want to make as many appearances as possible. And that's where I want to be as a sportscaster, you know, to do more games and to grow in that field. So that's my biggest focus right now.
Right, man. Thank you so much for joining me. This was very interesting and very helpful for a lot of women. I wish you all the best of luck, and say hi to the little one.
No, thank you so much. And I mean, you're doing a good job with what you're doing. I went through your profile, and continue doing what you're doing. I think it's very important. It's very important. You know, I'm seeing these comments that are distracting me. But anyway,
I know.
I think actually I need to like take about 5, but now I'm taking over your interview. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, but I think what you're doing is good. Continue doing what you're doing. I don't know, what would you like to do? Would you like to get into television? Would you like to be a presenter someday?
For me, at this point, I feel like I want to be in the background a lot more than being in public. But for this platform, I was like, I want to create a platform where I can be myself. I can do whatever I want. I can talk about certain things that I want, you know, in the meantime while I am learning, you know, because I started in 2018. Then, so I worked with a couple of teams, and I was like, you know what, this is so interesting. I want to do my own thing. You know, when you're working under someone, you are in a box, you need to do certain things in a certain way. So for me, I was like, I want to create a platform not only for myself, but for everyone around me, you know, to just learn and have fun.
Okay. So when you were working with the different teams, what exactly were you doing?
I was doing PR, so I was writing articles. For Bulugoni City and Black Leopards, and then I worked with another media house. So I was in the background, you see. So I was like,
no, you mentioned 2 teams, Bulugoni City. Baby, wait, this is not your life. No. But anyway, you mentioned 2 teams from Limpopo.
Yeah.
Is that where you're based? Or?
Yeah, I'm based in Mopolokwane.
Ema pele jwale wa e re bolela sekgowa. Wa re
Wena,
ka sekgowa. Batho ba ke palla le go bolela ke fela ke nagana mantswe a sekgowa a makere no mara ka tsontse ke sentse ka tiko. Wa e re
ke a practice.
practice sekgowa.
Sekgowa, conducted interviews ka sekgowa.
Wow. Okay, wait. All right. I think my son wants to be a part of the live, which is not possible. So thank you so much for having me on your live. Papa, wait. Let's do this. Okay. See the joys of being a mother.
But anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it so much. Yo.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much, man. I'll keep in touch. Probably when you're hosting the side, I will see you.
Definitely, anytime.
Alrighty, alright. Bye.
I don't know why the guy is like, anyway.
Guy, you know, you could have done that a long time ago.
Now I should know what's Amaya. But why in tradition I was asking why because
yeah, no. But thank you so much.
You've been saying a lot of guys. I'm just going through your questions now.
Yeah.
Okay, no, there's nothing there. Never mind.
No, there's nothing. They're busy talking about certain things.
How do you conduct your research ahead of games? So we would normally be in talks with the PR, study team. That's what would happen.
Oh. Alrighty, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
That was Amanda Manku, guys. Yeah. You know, this thing is so tough, you know, because we are so much into this when we get into the zone. But thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next week, Friday. Next week, Friday, I'm interviewing Danielle Zoteti. She is a law student and also a goalkeeper in the ladies team from Northwest University. So please join us and continue interacting. Thank you so much for watching. And next time, bring in the noise.